back to Wealth Dynasty. We're glad to have you guys back again. This is part 2 of our episode with Donald Kelly. Again, we got him back this week, and we're glad to have you back this week too. If you didn't see last week's episode, it's right here in the we got that in the description below. And if you don't have to, that's not a prerequisite to watch this episode, obviously. But we got some more question and answer session with Donald, and basically these are some questions that either he or other clients of ours or other people that we've been talking to have had kind of the same question, and we're answering those questions today, like a live Q&A. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Kurt Tucker and Donald Kelly.
Welcome, Wealth Dynasty. Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much for the insights from the other stuff last time. I got really inspired, and several fundamental things that I know I need to get going and I didn't have in place. So that was really helpful. So I came back with more, if you guys are cool with that.
Fantastic.
I wore the same shirt and I wore the same cufflinks and everything.
Same here,
bro,
man.
like,
As you can see, it's a different day because now I don't have the laptop. I have a phone. So here's, you kind of helped me out last time. We were shifting the thinking from the income to wealth, but I wanted to go into this idea that you all mentioned on a past episode, and I hear about it all the time, especially in my age group and whatnot on social, is the Rockefeller mindset, that Rockefeller method. Like, what exactly is the Rockefeller method, and what are they actually referring to? Like, you hit on it, but if you don't mind, just give it a Reader's Digest
Yeah,
version.
so the Rockefeller method, as I understand it, is Rockefeller developed wealth, but he wanted to continue that wealth and create more wealth for generations to come without dissipating what he'd already created.
Okay.
Right? So one great method of passing wealth on to the next to multiple generations is what we talked about already, in that you set up a trust, but this is a different kind of trust. This is not a revocable trust. This is an irrevocable trust, or irrevocable trust, depends on who you want to talk to. Okay. And that's a different animal altogether. Okay. There's a thing called an ILIT, Irrevocable Life Insurance Trust. ILIT, ILIT, Irrevocable Life Insurance Trust. It's a different animal altogether because you're taking money, you're putting into this trust, and you're purchasing life insurance inside the trust. Now, that life insurance no longer is an asset of yours. Okay, it is outside your estate, which means that if you die, that life insurance benefit passes to the next generation without an estate tax. Right now in our country, you can give away, an individual can give away, what is it,
14.9 million.
Okay, almost $15 million without creating an estate tax
Lifetime.
in your lifetime. All right. Now, in the past, it was like 600,000. Okay, not that long ago, it was like 600,000. So now it's 15 million, big deal. Okay,
That's a big difference.
But that still may not be enough.
Yeah. So a husband and wife can right now pass away almost 30 million, can pass to the next generation, no estate tax, $30 million.
And this is assuming they are American citizens.
Yeah.
You cannot, this is not for foreign nationals.
Right, correct.
Yes.
Interesting.
So that's a big chunk of money. Okay, but if your wealth is 100 million, so you can give away 30 million, no estate tax. That means 70 million is subject to estate tax.
Yeah.
At 40%. Okay. 40% is a big chunk of money, right?
That's a big chunk of money.
All right. Now there's all sorts of
Uncle
ways.
Sam, do you really need that much?
Okay, so whatever that 4 times 7, what's that? $28 million. Okay, that's a lot of money. Okay. Now there's lots of other things you can do to mitigate that, right? But a simple way to do it is have the life insurance, and it creates a big tax benefit because the life insurance is not taxable, and which means 100% of that money can be used to benefit your family.
Yeah.
All right. There's all sorts of different things about that, but and each person can give away, I can't remember how much it is every year now. It's like $18,000 you can give away to an individual to a beneficiary without any gift issues whatsoever. and not affecting your lifetime
gift.
So
Okay.
$18,000 you can give away as gift
Mhm.
without having any.
Without tapping that 14.9 million.
Right.
That is
Without
your
tapping that.
annual amount that you can get, or your lifetime amount that you can gift without the estate tax.
So
On
in
top
your
of that, there's
situation,
another.
let's say you want to set up the Donald Kelly Irrevocable Life Insurance Trust.
Yeah.
All right. And you're going to put $5 million of life insurance inside that. All right. And you've got Christina, Caleb, and Lilia as beneficiaries. So you could take $18,000 times 3, okay, whatever that number is. That's 30. So I can't do my
It's
head.
almost
That's
60. It's
okay.
50 to 52.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can put that $50,000 in that policy and create $5 million estate tax-free, income tax-free for the kids. Okay. So you've just created an estate. You put $50,000 and you created $5 million.
Yeah.
Okay. For your family.
Yeah.
All right. Now you have to put the $50,000 in probably several years. Hopefully you don't die right away.
Yeah.
But hey, the truth is, if you die, you pay one premium and you died by an accident the next day,
Yeah.
that's $5 million to your family.
Literally the best investment you've ever made,
Okay.
percentage-wise.
Want to stick around a little bit longer?
Percentage-wise, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But even if you live normal lifespan, it's still a good investment. Okay. It's still solid, especially because it's tax-free.
Yeah.
Okay. So even if your return at normal life expectancy is 6% on that money you put in, okay, tax-free, that's great.
Another
Yeah.
40%.
10%.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. So, anyways, and then of course it's in the trust, and you can do all the same things in the trust that you would do in a revocable trust, meaning all the different
Delegation.
delegations and so forth you want to put in there. But it's irrevocable, meaning you can't go back in there and get that money. Okay.
Why do they do that then?
Because by giving up the access, you're giving up ownership. The government says, okay, you give up ownership, we'll let that pass tax-free.
Got it.
Okay. These are they're just fictitious devices
Yeah.
at the end of the day to obey the law.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's to skate around the IRS code.
Well,
And
it's
they make
just,
the
it's obey
code,
the law.
and
Okay. It's
it is
nothing.
legally, you are literally legally using the law to your benefit, and only if you have somebody that knows enough of that tax code that can get you through this legally, because this, like, setting up that trust is not a simple product. Like, a normal person should not do that, okay, by themselves. You need a lawyer for that.
Yeah.
Even setting up the ILET, you need to have benchmarks. You have to have specific things with the insurance policy to hit certain benchmarks. It has to be verified, or else it's not gonna, you can't use that as the vehicle. There's a lot of moving parts here that you can't just do this on your own. And that's why this helps wealthy people become wealthier, because they have the access to the lawyers and to company, like financial planners, and to other resources that are going to get them to where they, and they're not talking about little baby cases like $100,000 for my family. They're talking about like a single policy that could be $100 million.
Yeah.
You can get a life insurance if you qualify for it for $100 million. For a single company would insure you for that much. There's multiple companies that'll do that or more.
Well, combination, you get about 100 million. Okay. 150 maybe, but it's a lot.
It's a lot of insurance. Yeah. But you got to pay for it. There's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
And so this is not, this specific situation, like what is referred to as the Rockefeller Method, is not specifically the same exact blueprint for everybody, but the concept is the same. The concept is take a trust, get life insurance, and set it up so that you can have generational wealth. That's the concept behind this whole Rockefeller Method. And that's really what you, like, you have to start, you can start at anybody's level, basically. Anybody could start this, like, even at a level with just a will and basic life insurance. That is basic version of Rockefeller Method.
Yeah.
And then you can scale this up as you build your wealth.
Yeah.
As long as you maintain your health.
So let me just give you another idea on that same concept. Okay. Another thing you can do is with the same idea, using an irrevocable life insurance trust, you can set up the Donald and Christina Kelly Irrevocable Life Insurance Trust.
Yeah. Okay.
And buy a policy in there that's called a survivorship policy, or second to die, meaning that, and let's say you got a estate of $100 million, you want to have $20, $30 million of life insurance in there. to cover the estate tax, whatever it might be, or just to benefit the family, you can buy a survivorship policy, which pays when the second person dies. A little bit less expensive because you got 2 lives involved. Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't benefit the first one to die. It doesn't benefit the survivor of the first one to die. But it does benefit the estate. There's all sorts of permutations on that. So you could say, okay, we've got a $30 million estate. Okay. And we want to make sure the kids get at least $30 million. But, or maybe you got a $100 million estate. You want to make sure the kids get at least 50 million, whatever the number is.
Yeah.
30 million you can give away, right? No problem. The other 70 you can give to charity. Okay. And then buy $20 million of life insurance and you make them $50 million and there's 0 estate tax.
Yeah.
Okay. 0. Okay. So that's, things like that you can do.
Yeah.
Okay. Using this kind of method. And the whole idea of the Rockefeller, kind of a marketing name, right? It's just a name. It's something that's been around for a long time. So you set this trust up and the kids get the benefits, but then you do the same thing again. So with all the generations, you keep doing it and it keeps passing that money on. And so that's kind of where that all comes in. And it takes advantage of the tax laws. It takes advantage of using other people's money, which is insurance.
Yeah.
And, making it work.
Now, there's other benefit to these plans or setting up, even if it's just the most basic version of this. Another benefit is the fact that when you have that big old pile of money, you have access to the cash that you could take out, whether it's like a loan and you pay that back, depending obviously on how this is structured. But on like the most basic versions, if this is just like a basic trust for me and my family with an IUL, I can have that cash that I need if I needed to take it out or take a loan against that. That's all tax-free income, which ties back into what people call the infinite banking method.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
Yeah. So here's another change on that. Okay, so we set up the Donald Kelly Irrevocable Life Insurance Trust. All right, you're the grantor, you're not the trustee. Christina would be the trustee, and we call it's an irrevocable life insurance trust, but it's also called a spousal lifetime access trust. SLAT. SLAT. Okay. Yeah. That means that Christina, as a trustee, would have access to the value inside that trust.
So the value of it is
whatever it might be. It could be the cash value of the policy. It could be investment assets, all sorts of things, right?
Yeah.
Life insurance is great because it doesn't create any additional tax. So in other words, you put the money inside of spousal, if you have a brokerage account, put it inside the spousal lifetime access trust, it's great, but the trust tax rate is kind of high.
Yeah.
Okay. So in other words, the taxes that the trust has to pay would be capital gains taxes, ordinary income, dividends, and the tax brackets and trusts are quite challenging. Okay. So in other words, you got ordinary income tax and personal, maybe at $250,000, you got a certain tax level. But that same tax level at a trust level is like $20,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a condensed scale. Okay. Life insurance is great because no tax.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the gross tax deferred inside the policy. So Christine would have access to the policy for the benefit of the kids, your family, your own retirement. Of course, that presumes a solid marriage and so forth.
Sure.
But you can set those up for one for you,
and
you can do something similar. You can't be reciprocal. It has to be a little bit different. But for Christina,
interesting,
and it creates the same kind of benefit. And so all that money then is, of course, when it passes on, there's no estate tax on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can create some wealth like that too.
Man, Rockefeller really making all this money.
So I guess sum all this up, if this was super confusing, just reach out, we'll help you out. Or get with your financial guy, get with your lawyers, and talk to them about these concepts. You can also research this, online and read up on it before you do anything. Obviously, research this stuff. Good.
Yeah.
And
I think I love that you guys shared that at the very beginning, like, speak to your attorney or, your financial advisor or whatnot. This isn't I like this.
And there's 10 other permutations on this stuff too, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a whole bunch of other things you can do.
You kind of answered some other questions around this idea of the infinite banking. And you kind of went deeper into that. I want to talk a little bit about risk before we, as we get ready towards the end here. Do wealthy families think about risk differently than the average person? You guys talk to a lot of wealthy people.
What comes to my mind first is it's individual.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't think you can generalize.
Can't generalize risk.
Because some people are quite willing to take risks. Some people are, take big risks in business. Certainly wealthy people do take big risks. Okay. They make big bets and, they're going to bet that this business is going to work out. They're going to bet that this real estate market's going to, do well. They're going to bet that this particular stock is going to do well. So they do take risks for sure. Okay. Some take too much risk, obviously, because some people fail. Okay. And they mess up. Okay. Yeah. But wealthy people do take risks. They have to, because it's really hard to get wealthy without taking any risk.
Yeah.
I think it's a very calculated risk. Like for Warren Buffett, he reads literally for hours and hours every single day to calculate better his risk and to see different angles. It's really good to see, sit down with people on any decision and see, different angles and see if somebody can play devil's advocate before you make any risk or you take a risk. Tying it back into life insurance, obviously a lot of most wealthy people will mitigate their risk with a life insurance policy, because if they're not present, then this is guaranteed that it's not going to happen. So this is like our safety net, if anything happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're really wealthy. They try to mitigate risk, lobbying in the government and so forth. Okay. So there's a lot of that goes on as well. They try to mitigate risk with lobbying efforts and connections and so forth.
How do you protect what I'm building before I even start thinking about growing it on those lines of risk? Like, say, think about it from an entrepreneur standpoint. How do I protect what I'm building before I even start thinking about growing it?
So I think what first comes to my mind is, if you have a great idea or you have a concept or a business, you need to figure out some way to make that proprietary that can't be stolen. Okay, think about copyright. Think about patents. Patenting is a long process, but if it's something that you can patent, like get that done. That's definitely a way that you can mitigate anything getting stolen. With that being said, things can still get stolen, by your idea or whatever. And there's some countries that have no respect for those laws or stuff like that. Like honestly, like anything can kind of get stolen or modified to the point where it bypasses your copyright. But copywriting something like a software is only $65. Most people don't know that. So if you make some software, you can copyright your code, and that's all your
$65 to protect yourself.
That's it.
But let's say you have ambition to create something for your family and you're just starting out. That's where term insurance comes in, term life insurance. You can, get a very inexpensive term life insurance, meaning that if my dreams and plans don't work out over the next 10 years, at least my family's got something to show for my efforts. And that's just pennies. Literally pennies on the dollar.
We added up for a year, right?
It's pennies on $100. Okay. It is. It's just pennies. Okay. And so that's
a huge way to do it for sure.
Yeah. To mitigate that risk, at least, while you're starting out.
And that's assuming that you have the health to be able to qualify for that. Because all the insurances that we talk about are all dependent on your health status.
Yeah.
If you can't qualify because a company deems you as you're not healthy enough, it's too big of a risk for them. So there's also things you can do. And speaking of health, there's things, your health-wise, your mental health and all that, you need to watch out for when you're building a business. And this is very overlooked. People's mental health can get pretty crazy from all the anxiety and the stress, and that you're taking a loan and paying this, and you barely have enough money to make payroll. Like you're not taking any money for the first few years. That's business. And a lot of people go through that. That can be extremely stressful. So having a plan and having a way to maintain your sanity, maybe sessions with a therapist and get some insurance and get with a therapist, or find a trusted mentor that doesn't charge you anything, so you can talk to them about things. Those are all really good strategies for mitigating your mental health risks.
I got one last question before we go, and you probably see this, it's just a closing. If you had to give a simple roadmap for someone like me, no inheritance, building from scratch, what are the 3 to 5 steps I should follow in the next few years?
Well, first of all, save a little bit. Okay. Put something aside. don't spend it all.
No matter what your
Okay,
situation.
That's the number
for sure,
one.
for
Don't
sure.
spend it all.
Can't get the boat.
No, you're going to have to give up some stuff. Okay. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
Okay. You're starting from scratch. You can't go, you just can't. All right. Because all those little things cost money and they build up. You need to set something aside to save something. So start. So I had a friend of mine I worked with years ago. We put $50 a month into a mutual fund. Okay. 10 years later, she had like $60,000. Okay. So you just put a little bit a month into the mutual fund. Maybe she built it up a little bit more. Okay. Maybe went up to 100, 200, whatever it was. But hey, for too long, she had money. Okay. And it was like a surprise.
Yeah.
All right. So,
And that's pretty, you could probably put it on an autopilot. You know, when you think about it.
You need to.
you got to do, even it's $50 a month. I mean, that's nothing these days, right? So maybe $200 a month now. Okay. But still something to do something. All right. Or even an IUL, whatever it might be, do that. So that's number one. Build up something, build up some reserves, start. And if you're putting $100 a month or $50 a month, don't worry about too much risk. Okay. I mean, so if it goes up and down a little bit, so what?
Who cares? You're looking at a market that's going to go up and down. This is the long-term play.
Right.
Play with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't get overly worried about, I'm going to lose it. Okay. Let's do something with it. Okay. And then, so that's one. The other thing is just think about what you're doing all the time. So I would say take a minute every day, think about what you're doing. What am I doing? What's going on? What's the big picture here?
Yeah. Does it tie back to the goal? It's
The
something
big
I'm
picture,
working
yeah.
towards.
Whatever your big picture is, that's your end goal. You have to start with the end in mind.
Even write it down. I mean, journal keeping is amazing.
Yep.
But write stuff down and think about it. Allow your mind to inspire you.
Yeah.
That's 3 or 4 things. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
two.
definitely. I
Kind of hit on some of them probably already.
yeah.
Like your
Definitely start the savings. There's nothing that gives you more confidence than having money in your bank account, because if something happens, you got the money sitting there. Okay, that's first one. Second one, 100% agree with what you just said about
Meditation or thinking about it. Just thinking about it.
think about stuff. So when you start with the end in mind, like this is what I want to get to, your brain will automatically start saying how we're going to get there. You don't need to know how you're going to get there, or you just got to know why I want to get there and where I'm going.
Yeah.
And then you'll figure out how.
It will naturally
come to
guide
you.
you to.
It'll come to you. I would definitely get life insurance, because you are what's going to make that end goal happen.
Yeah.
And even if you don't have beneficiaries, that's another way. Even if it's just like an insurance policy and you plan on in the future getting married or having kids, if you get it now, it's better than waiting until you're older. Get some term insurance. Put it in your mom's name. Here's a beneficiary. Who cares? Your mom, at least.
That's what happened to me when I first started. I was like, who's gonna get it? Like, it's my
Just
mom.
Put this in mama's name, bro.
It was like term,
or somebody that you love,
pay like $20 a month or something,
or even
some
a
crazy
charity.
number.
Yeah. So get that set up at the beginning, because you're the most insurable, you're the healthiest, you're the youngest. It's going to be the cheapest possible.
Yeah.
And if you get some permanent insurance, you're socking away a little bit more money in a different pot.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I would never stop learning. Never stop your evolution.
Yeah.
I think that is so. I was talking to my mom yesterday. She owns a tax business for the last 35 years, tax preparation. And she says, I don't even want to learn this AI stuff. It's so overwhelming. I'm like, Mom, don't worry. You're going to be replaced by it in a couple of years. She's like, don't tell me that. I'm like, yo, it's the truth.
Truth is the truth, Mom.
So you always have to continually evolve, learn, research stuff, and then even like while you're researching, sometimes when I'm on like AI, for example, I say, what am I not thinking of?
Yeah.
So it can tell you, or you can set it up.
What am I not asking?
Yeah, what am I not asking? Or you talk to me as if you are, like in your case, you are a marketing manager that has over $1 billion in marketing revenue. Talk to me like that.
Yeah.
That's your persona. Now you tell me what I'm doing wrong. And it's going to change the perspective that the AI works with you.
Yeah.
So those are all tools, but use all the tools at your disposal, keep learning. And then, I mean, just never stop working. I think like you got to keep grinding every single day, even if it's a little bit. Like I always tell people when I'm at the gym, like even if you're sick or if you feel terrible, you go have the worst workout in the world, you at least went to the gym and you did more than the person that just slept. So even a bad workout's better than no workout.
Yeah, because they still have the habit.
Exactly.
Right.
That becomes your identity.
Yeah.
You need that to become your identity. So not just a habit, you need your identity to be whatever your end goal is. One of the best books on this is Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
That's where he really talks about not just making a habit, but your identity. Because if you identify that this is what I'm going to be, or this is what I am a successful entrepreneur, or whatever this is, I will fill in the gaps by that being my identity. So that's all I got.
Y'all gave me a whole lot today. I mean, this was like a wealth of knowledge, and hopefully benefit you guys too. But thank you for sharing this with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Donald, for being such a fantastic partner. We love you so much.
Well, thank you. Love you guys too. Appreciate this.
Thanks. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining us today. Thanks again to Donnie and to Kurt Tucker for being with us today. If you have any questions, comments, or anything that you want to keep on the discussion, hit us up in the links below, or send some comments our way. We'll maybe get to your questions in the future episodes. And we'll see you on the next one next week.